to enthrall, to captivate, and this occasion appears irresistible. Two magnificent sides intent upon impressing the wider world with a display of technical and tactical brilliance. So much riding on this. Comprehensive coverage coming up live on EA TV.
Well, the stage is set for a big night of football.
Hello, welcome back to Armchair Armory. And it is, as I'm recording this, it's the morning after the night before of the 2-2 draw over Chelsea. But we're not here to really dwell on that. We're here to talk about Champions League. Champions League returns as Arsenal head to Sevilla on Tuesday. Just to sort of reiterate or regurgitate my thoughts on the Chelsea game, I thought it was a bad performance from an Arsenal perspective. But, you know, for those 5, 10, 15 minutes that it took for us to come back, I think we showed a little bit of fight. You know, it's more of a disappointment for a Chelsea than it is for us, because the game, we were dead and buried after the second goal. And, you know, for Chelsea to concede the 2 goals in the way that they did at the time that they did, you could easily turn around and say that they bottled it. I see a lot of I mean, in a way, they are right. Like, we were lucky to get out of there with a point. But, you know, I've seen some of the reaction from some people online, and I know there's a lot of people that say don't pay attention to what's said online and stuff like that. And it's hard not to, because since I've sort of moved into this space, it's been something I've had to do a lot more, just so I can kind of see what the vibe is at the moment. Some people would say to see what the vibe is and go against it, but it's not necessarily that. It's just to see what people's opinions are, really. And I think, you know, half of the fan base thinks that it was a good result from, you know, coming back from the jaws of death. We sort of resurrected and rescued something from the game. And then there's the other half that think it was an unbelievably shit performance and the league's over, and yeah, like, you know, the normal merchants. I have a feeling that, you know, there are some people out there that are just using results like this to reignite the Arteta out campaign. I find the people that online that say that wanted the manager out when things weren't going too well are just kind of lying in wait for things to go wrong, so they can then say, look, I told you so. And I think that's pathetic. I think it's stupid, you know. It's hard to be. Don't get me wrong, from my perspective, I've always, for about 2 seasons, I was skeptical of Arteta. Those 2 seasons we finished 8th, I was thinking, are we going to be able to do this? Is he the right person to take us forward? And then the season where we finished 5th behind Spurs, I thought that there was an improvement there, and I was like, well, he's already got credit in the bank, because in his first half season he's won a trophy, and then regardless of what you think of the FA Cup, it's still a prestigious trophy. It's the English Cup at the end of the day. I don't until this day understand why people don't see it as a proper trophy. And then we finished 8th twice. And I kind of wavered a little bit. I was thinking, is the job too big for him? Stuff like that. I remember talking to my barber about it, being like, yeah, I think the job's too big for him. And I said, but I knew I wasn't stupid enough, like a lot of people that think that their opinion means anything to a multi-million pound business. Well, I say that, but you see, you know, businesses nowadays seem to cave to anyone that kicks up a fuss. But anyway, people, you know, wanted him out, and I knew that Arsenal weren't going to get rid of him. And it was like, well, now that I know that, I'm just going to have to stick out and see what happens. And obviously, if it gets worse, eventually the club will do what's necessary. And in that season that we finished behind Spurs. You know, that very disappointing end to the 21-22 season, where we lost to Spurs and then lost to Newcastle. Didn't turn up against Newcastle. That season, I saw encouragement. You know, if it wasn't for the back end of that season, I saw an improvement. I saw that things were starting to click. And then 22-23 was probably the best season I've seen Arsenal play since the days of the Invincibles, or since like the early days of the Young Guns, kind of after all the Invincibles left, and we had people like Fabregas and Van Persie and Sagna and people like that. Like that was the something I thought I'd never see. I thought we'd be kind of where Man United are now for forever and ever, or forevermore, and it would take someone else to come in and do that. I didn't think Arteta would be the person to do this. And this has kind of reignited my faith in him as a manager, because not only has he improved the football, but he's also improved the culture of the club. He's changed everything and made fans fall in love with the club again. So regardless of what happens going forward, I will always hold Mikel Arteta as in high regard in terms of an Arsenal, and he is now become, probably to me, and the only thing that could take him to like proper legend status is if he wins the league. But he's on the verge, being that he's made a lot of fans fall in love with the club again. So I think anyone that's turned around and started to blame the manager and has started to reignite the Arteta argument just has an agenda, in my opinion. But anyway, moving on. So we move on to Tuesday, Sevilla. In the Champions League, we've had 1 win, 1 loss. Very, very good performance against PSV at home, a 4-0 win, and a not so good performance against Lens away, where we lost 2-1. And this, for me, is probably the hardest game of our Champions League run so far. Sevilla have a very good record at home against English teams. You saw last season how they, pretty much every single time they play Man United, they always beat them across 2 games. I know this is only one game, one group game, and then, well, there's the group game there and then the group game at the Emirates. But I still think this is going to be really difficult, because for some reason these guys always seem to pull it off. Some always seem to pull off some kind of result in the Champions League or the Europa League. Let me just have a look at what their last. I think they've drawn their first 2. Yeah, they drew 1-1 on the opening day with Lens, and then they drew 2-2 with PSV the week we lost to Lens away. So they're not doing too great in the Champions League at the moment. I wouldn't say either, because I think at least we've got a win on the board, and even though after losing to Lens, the group is blown wide open, I think we still stand a chance of qualifying pretty well. We should really be topping the group, because we're probably the best team of the 4 there. But it's just, you know, when you're a team that hasn't been in the Champions League for a long time, it's hard to kind of get your feet under the table, so to speak. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't qualify. I'm sort of expecting us not to qualify, just because of the fact we haven't been in the Champions League for a long, long time. But then again, you look at Newcastle, who haven't been in the Champions League since the mid-90s, and you know, they went and beat PSG at home. So who knows? But I think this is the hardest game for us this season. In the Champions League, I think this is going to be the game where it will test our mettle, essentially. In terms of the starting lineup, I can imagine it will be very much the same as what we've seen against both City and Chelsea. I have a feeling Ramsdale might come back in for this game. I should also say, obviously he didn't appear in the squad because his wife gave birth to a baby boy on Friday, I believe. So congratulations to them. But yeah, I think he's going to play this game. I mean, I'm already worried about what this is doing, this whole Raya Ramsdale thing. I'm really worried about where it's going and what it's causing at the moment, because I don't really want to see Ramsdale leave the club. I thought that I was naive in thinking that Raya had come in as a backup to replace Turner, and it seems like someone somewhere has turned Arteta's ear and told him that, you know, Raya is the goalkeeper you want. And at the moment, you know, in the last 2 games especially, and you could even include the Tottenham game in that, he's not filled me with confidence, put it that way. And goalkeeping is one of my favorite positions. When I played football, I didn't play it like semi-professionally or didn't play it amateurly or anything like that. I was just kicking about. For a lot of my time of playing football in the park and that's the kind of stuff, I was always a goalkeeper. And one of my favorite players of all time was David Seaman. So I always watch goalkeepers, and I'm always looking at how good goalkeepers are. And at the moment, like, Raya isn't filling me with confidence. He started off well against Everton, but it seems as if, you know, I don't know what's going on, whether the pressure of what's going on in the media with Ramsdale is getting to him. I don't know. But I think Ramsdale at some point should come back in. That's kind of how I see it anyway. In terms of the score, we kind of really need to win this to kind of make our lives easier on the second round of fixtures in the Champions League to qualify. So I think we need to win this. But those of you that have followed me since the beginning of this channel, in this segment of the channel, I'm a realist, and I think this is going to be a draw. I think this is either going to be 0-0 or 1-1. I don't think we're going to win this game, just because Sevilla away, they've got a great record against English teams, and I think we've already had quite a poor showing away from home in Europe so far. So I think, unfortunately, that's going to carry on. So yeah, I'm going to say a draw, 0-0, 1-1. Yeah, that's it basically. I'm going to leave it there. I will be back again after the game with a bit of luck. So until then, take care and stay safe.
Can someone get on the end of this? And the keeper making sure that there were no straps to feed on for the attackers. Arsenal have it back. An encouraging Arsenal move. Good use of advantage there. A lot of space to attack. And with that, the attack fizzles out. Looking for the angle. Now can they counter clinically? Gabriel Jesus. Well, the keeper had plenty to think about with bodies around him. Good work from Sevilla to win it back. Definitely look as though they want to make this move count. Plenty of players waiting in the middle. Is it going to be? And a goal! They've increased their lead, and they don't want to be throwing it away from here.
Let's see this again, because the delivery into the box couldn't be any better. Played into just the right area, and then what a great finish as well. Good connection with the ball, leaving the keeper with little chance. It's a great goal.
So back underway at 3-1. Space and time for Arsenal. Could reduce the deficit, and he does. There is hope for them, despite the adversity they suffered earlier.
Well, as you can see, his movement is really good, which then makes the finish look easy. That's a decent goal, that's for sure.
Well, the game has been restarted. 3-2 here. Luca Bacchio. It looked as though they had attacking momentum, but not so. Can they trouble the opposition this time? Acuna. Now with Acuna. Oh, that's a super piece of defending. Oh, that surely had to go in, but marvellous defending. Well, they've been getting the substitute ready, and now they will make the personnel change. Taken short. Teammate available. And there it is, a penalty given and a chance perhaps for them to finish this off. Well, there might have been a case for a yellow card, but the referee didn't see it that way.
Well, Derek, it's a foul, yes. A penalty, absolutely. But for me, it's not a yellow card. The ref has got that right.
To finish it as a contest. And that is when you need your goalkeeper. Another goal from this corner would in all likelihood secure a victory. Keen to take it short here. Good use of advantage. In a dangerous position. Oh, great defending. Well, with 5 minutes remaining and just one goal between them, still the prospect of late excitement in this match. It's there for him. Oh, it's in! And that might be the goal that clinches it for them. No looking back now, surely.
Well, just watch this again. It's a really good goal, but it's no surprise, is it? They've been in complete control here.
So the current scoreline, 4-2. Bukayo Saka. It does appear to be opening up on the flank for Arsenal here. A chance for them to provide a test in the form of a corner. Now sending it in. Really fine catch by the goalkeeper. Under a bit of pressure too. Nicely timed tackle. Well, since they have the ball, the referee playing advantage here. Well, good run and good ball control. The full-time whistle and disappointment for Arsenal on match day one. A very poor start to their Champions League season.
Well, that's not the result they were looking for. It makes the next game really important now. They need to respond in that one.
Well, we're picking him out for a reason. He's had a tremendous game in attack, Stuart.
Well, of course, his finishing could have been better today, but he scored one and made a lot of chances for himself. I thought he was outstanding.